Well, guys, as you know, we recently have been discussing lots of topics regarding online censorship, and more recently today, how the government in the UK is enacting new regulations where online users are being mandated to send their personal information, including things such as uploading a scan of their face or credit card info to a company named Yoti. This is all being done under the guise of protecting the children, which, of course, is a common line of rhetoric used often by politicians and corporations to try and excuse how they harvest data and breach personal privacy. Well, today there was also another situation involving personal information being leaked in a massive data breach. You see, there's this app called T, which has apparently been one of the top apps across various stores. And the app is allegedly an app made only for women to use, where women post the information about men that they wish to date or have dated, and then those men get labeled with potential green flags or red flags as women discuss those men. However, the app has also received tremendous criticism as many men claim that the app is actually being used to dox men and facilitate harassment against them. Now, the app also seems to require that women who sign up for the app must provide their own personal information, including requiring them to upload a picture of themselves. I guess this is how they were going about trying to ensure that the app remains populated only by women. However, this has backfired tremendously, as it's been reported today that the app has had a massive data breach and that the personal information of these women have been made public, with various online forums even posting the pictures that these women uploaded of themselves that have been leaked in this data breach. And this has been the source of many memes across various forums online now. Of course, this falls right in line with the theme that we've had lately regarding data harvesting online, and it's a perfect example of one of the many issues that arise from companies and or governments mandating that an individual upload their personal information online and send that information to a company. That said, this is also a major play stupid games, win stupid prizes moment as well, a FAFO moment if you will, as the people who criticize the app for allegedly facilitating doxing and harassment against men are now laughing at how the users who have been engaging in such actions have now had their information leaked. In other words, people are saying this is a sort of comedic irony. Now look, I totally understand concerns about safety when it comes to dating and meeting strangers in person who you previously only met online. And it's very understandable to want to be as careful as you can when engaging in this sort of thing. But there's also a large problem with an app like this being used more as a harassment tool against people than a shield of sorts. I mean, even the name T seems to suggest that the app is more of a place of gossip than a genuine place of protecting oneself against the potential dangers of meeting someone from the internet. And that's all just the issue with the normal use of the app itself. As you know, they now also have this whole data breach issue going on as well. But that's all just an overview of everything going on in this situation, so let's take a further look into all this stuff. 404 Media, who many outlets are claiming is the first one to actually report on this, says users from 4chan claim they have discovered an exposed database hosted on Google's mobile app development platform Firebase, belonging to the newly popular women's dating safety app T. Users say they are rifling through people's personal data and selfies uploaded to the app, and then posting that data online. According to screenshots, 4chan posts and code reviewed by 404 Media. In a statement to 404 Media, T confirmed the breach also impacted some DMs, but said that the data is from 2 years ago. T, which claims to have more than 1.6 million users, reached the top of the App Store charts this week and has tens of thousands of reviews there. The app aims to provide a space for women to exchange information about men in order to stay safe, and verifies that new users are women by asking them to upload a selfie. Over on Reddit, we can see this comment about the news saying, honestly, I don't trust any social media / social dating kind of site with info like a driver's license. The response reading, T reportedly saved all the driver's licenses in a public database. Just stuck them out on the internet where anyone who wanted could download them. No password guessing or security key or social engineering or any other sort of hacking required. Frankly, breach is a stretch here. It's more like you deposited money in the bank and the bank turned around and loaded the money in a cardboard box that they set out right there on the sidewalk and then acted surprised when someone took it. Huge level of incompetence and negligence on display. Unless it's possible someone did actually hack them and the code to upload to this Firebase was inserted by a third party, but if someone were to do that, they would also be competent enough to put a password on it, so I doubt it happened that way. Leak has been made public recently, but who knows how long someone else found out and has been quiet about it while downloading everything. Now, this comment, on the other hand, finds a way to still blame men for this whole mess, saying, breached is giving too much leeway here to the app. The app uploaded the sensitive pictures of IDs to public cloud storage. This is the equivalent of keeping the passwords of your users in a passwords text file in your website. Greedy men wanted to make money out of the fear women have because of the risk of dating men. So they built a cheap app with no real regard to keeping women safe. That comment does come from the subreddit 2x chromosomes, which has a bit of a notorious reputation for being mainly used by women who try to blame men for every conceivable problem that they possibly can. Of course, don't get me wrong, the owners of the app absolutely should have secured the information properly, and that ties back to the discussions that we've had lately regarding online privacy and what's happening in the UK with Yoti, etc., etc. However, it is also the responsibility of individuals to protect themselves online and offline too. I mean, that's just common sense. I don't know about you, but at least to me, an app named T just sounds tacky and untrustworthy. I couldn't imagine willingly handing them over such sensitive information. Similarly, this tweet with 54,000 likes says, I'm not saying that I'm like pro that T-app or whatever, but I do think it says a lot. Like, we made an app to help women share information about dangerous men. And the men's response to this was to get so upset they hacked it and publicly posted everyone's government ID. As we know, that's not actually what happened, but let's take a look at this response. Framing this as men getting upset confuses correlation with cause. The app was not protected. It wasn't some planned attack. The devs shipped something with zero security and it got exposed. Every popular app gets tested. That's just what happens. You're taking a basic technical failure and layering a gendered narrative over it to fit your worldview. And then there's this response, quote tweeting with 54,000 likes, that says, the T-app developers watching y'all blame men instead of them for their terrible app security. That takes us back over to Reddit, the subreddit True on Popular Opinion, with the post titled, It's righteous and sweet justice that the T-app data is being leaked. User saying, I think the app is such a toxic, hypocritical, dystopian wasteland. It's honestly funny how ironic and hypocritical people are when complaining about their data and photos being leaked against their consent, with the fear of doxing, when the entire point of the app quite literally is sharing other people's photos and data against their consent and doxing them. Like, what kind of reasoning is this? I can breach other people's privacy, but it's wrong when it's done to me. All I can say is, what goes around comes around. Now, obviously, this opinion is highly variable, but I do think it's decently unpopular when the app is the most downloaded app on the App Store right now. And we get a little bit of a story here in this top response, responding to a comment that says, what the heck is the T-app? And they say, it's a gossip app, hence the name. Women post the dating app profiles of men for others to comment on. When I made a profile, the app suggested my username be XOXO Gossip Girl. No freaking way, man. XOXO Gossip Girl. Of the men's profiles posted, 90% of them were just catty or snarky comments. The first guy's profile I saw posted on there had a woman who hooked up with him saying, nice guy, but his size is kinda average. Just absolutely disgusting behavior. I can't imagine talking to other men about the anatomy of one of my hookups. Some claim it's primarily for safety, but anyone who's used the app can tell that's nonsense. I took screenshots. Here's a top comment if anyone's interested. Response saying, so anyone can join, just claim you're female? And another user says no, they have disgruntled women send their driver's licenses in for verification. The IDs were then kept without security, so anyone could access them. So an intelligence test with extra steps, isn't everything we do a reflection of our intelligence? Hopping over to the subreddit Men's Rights, check this out from 4 days ago. So, of course, before the data breach occurred, but we'll read a few comments here really quick in the OP, which says, the T-app must be deleted. The T-app is now the #1 app on the App Store. This can be used to spread misinformation about you without your knowledge because the app can only be accessed by women. Take 5 seconds out of your day to report it here. Top comment saying, the issue is that people, women especially, won't see this as an issue until the male version of the app is created. I deserve to know my date's STD history, body count, etc. I guarantee you if a male version existed, it'd be headline news and deleted immediately. It would be shown as proof of the misogynistic culture of our society, which in perspective says a lot about our actual culture when an app for doxing men, finding their addresses and spreading rumors about them becomes #1 on the store, and stating where a man works so people can call his HR to try and get him fired with lies. But yeah, that's the situation with the T-app and some various opinions on all that happened. Let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. And of course, be safe out there, whether online or offline. And if you enjoy my coverage, please consider liking and or subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next one.